Thank you very much. This is both a wonderful and a sad occasion, obviously. And he has done so much for our total community in terms of giving us pleasure and giving those in the orchestra an opportunity to play. People who give eulogies really need to be close to the person they're honoring. I was not. I was Ante's dean for 15 years. I saw a lot of him. I've seen a lot of him since, but I didn't have a chance to socialize with him. So my remarks are not going to do full justice to the human being that was Ante Padjen. I'll do my best to show you how broad he was, but I just don't know enough to do otherwise. Ante was born in Zagreb and originally, interestingly enough, hoped to make a career as a professional musician. He developed tuberculosis and was in a sanitarium for 2 years, was exposed to a physician, and decided not to be a professional musician, although he came pretty close. He went to medical school, and I'd like to think that a lot of his values and attitudes derived from being a physician, because he was much more than a musician or a pharmacologist. He was quite a wonderful human being. He, following graduation from medical school, he trained to be a pharmacologist in some of the best centers in the world. He then joined the Department of Pharmacology at McGill. Here I'm going to express my pride. The Department of Pharmacology at McGill is one of the great departments, not just in Canada, but in the world. At one time, I'm not sure where the numbers are now, it had the largest graduate program in pharmacology in North America. And Ante was an important researcher and mentor in that department for his entire career. That was his day job, actually. In 1989, he came to me with the idea of forming an orchestra, and he wanted it to be called I Medici. He and I actually had a discussion. For those of us who grew up and learned music from the development of the LP record and the stereo, one of the absolutely wonderful pioneering organizations was called I Medici, and it was in Zagreb, run by a man named Antounian. And he knew Antonio Negro. And I kind of think that that name, I Medici, may have been patterned after Il Medici. I would like to think so. For the last 27 years, and he first built the orchestra. We funded it. As you, I'm sure, realize, modern medicine is essentially blessed with and threatened by technology and electronic records. It is less personal. And there has been a movement in organized medicine, really around the world, to try and bring humanism back. And there are various ways of doing that. Some people use art. Some people use analysis of literature. Narrative medicine is a fact. And of course, there's music. And he chose music, and he certainly brought humanism to all of us. He built the orchestra. We managed to attract Wanda Kalustny as the first conductor, and she helped him create an orchestra that had a degree of professionalization which is unusual in amateur organizations. He then, of course, worked tirelessly to sustain the orchestra, to develop it, to place it here in prestigious organizations, and to build an audience like you. So we owe Ante Padjen, all of us, respect, love, and enormous gratitude. He created something which gave pleasure to many people and brought humanism to our Faculty of Medicine. No mean accomplishment. Those of you who were at the last concert will, maybe not, but may remember that I read a poem. I'm going to repeat it because I read it myself often. For me, it is very meaningful. My life has been enriched by my wife, my late wife, by being a physician, and by music. It's relatively easy to find quotes that express what medicine can mean to people. It's a little harder to find something about music that really means something. And I have, for about 10 years, been actually carrying in my wallet a poem. And I would like to read it on behalf of you, but I'd like to read it on behalf of Ante Padjen, because I think it expresses very well how he would have felt. Now I have to find my glasses. Anna Akhmatova was a dissident in the Stalinist and post-Stalinist regime. She was also a great poet and a friend of Ante Padjen. She suffered greatly from the Stalinist period. Her family was on a shuttle service back and forth from the Gulag. Some of them died. She was a friend of Shostakovich, whom Stalin tortured intellectually for most of his career. She wrote in 1958 a poem and dedicated it to Shostakovich, and it certainly speaks to me. Something miraculous burns in music. As you watch, its edges crystallize. Only music speaks to me when others turn away their eyes. When fearful friends abandoned me, the music stayed even at my grave and sang like earth's first shower of rain or flowers suddenly everywhere alive. Sang like earth's first shower of rain or flowers suddenly everywhere alive. Ante Padjen helped us feel like that. May he rest in peace, and thank you for your attention.
Hello. Hi everyone. Bonjour, chers membres du public, amis et familles de l'orchestre Medici di McGill. Good afternoon, dear audience members, friends and family of the Medici di McGill Orchestra. It is not often that I speak at our concerts. I usually prefer to let the music speak for us, to let the sound of the orchestra carry the emotions we share with you. But today it's different. For this concert, and in memory of our beloved founder, Dr. Ante Padjen, we have decided to add one very special piece right now before the Haydn. It's the Ave Maria by Caccini, arranged for string orchestra. So I wanted to include a string work as a tribute to Dr. Padjen, not only because he was a violist himself, but also because he founded the Medici di McGill Orchestra as a string ensemble back in 1989. From those early days, it has grown into this magnificent symphonic orchestra you hear today. Now, as we turn to Haydn's Symphony 104, the London, I'd like to share a small story with you. When Dr. Padjen and I once spoke about this season's repertoire, I mentioned that we would be performing this symphony. His face lit up with joy. He told me it was one of his favorites, and with good reason. The final movement, the Haydn himself weaves in a Croatian folk melody, something that spoke dearly to Dr. Padjen's heart and heritage. Haydn's finale begins as though we are stepping into a village celebration, a simple melody over a sustained drone dancing in the air. That melody is rooted in a Croatian folk song, O Helena, and by quoting it, Haydn brings something rustic, communal, and joyous into the grand symphonic form. In choosing the symphony, we are not only performing a masterpiece of the classical era, we are also giving voice to the cultural heritage of Dr. Padjen, his love of music, his roots, and his deep belief in community. This symphony was composed and premiered in London in 1795, and it was Haydn's final symphony. So its finale carries a sense of both farewell and triumph. To me, that joyful finale feels like more than music. It feels like a celebration of Dr. Padjen's life, his boundless love for medicine and music, his enduring devotion to his orchestra. As we reach the last movement tonight, I invite you all to share a smile for him, because I know that he'll be smiling down on us. It was an honor to have known you, Dr. Padjen. Thank you for all your devotion and hard work throughout these 37 seasons. The orchestra and I will continue your vision of healing through music, uniting medicine and music into one beautiful world. We will miss you dearly. May you rest in peace, Dr. Padjen.